हेलो दोस्तों, बिगनर्स पॉइंट में आपका स्वागत है। और अभी हम कर रहे हैं एडजेक्टिव्स। ठीक है, डिग्री ऑफ कंपैरिजन एंड एक्सेप्शंस। एडजेक्टिव्स, द सिंपलेस्ट वे टू एक्सप्लेन एडजेक्टिव्स इज दैट they describe a noun. It gives us a better idea of the noun by telling us its size, shape, age, color or other quality. Example, that is a big tree. ठीक है, तो इसमें ट्री क्या हो गया? ट्री हो जाएगा तुम्हारा नाउन, और बिग क्या हो जाएगा? इसकी क्वालिटी बता रहा है तो एडजेक्टिव। ठीक है, हाउ टू ऑर्डर एडजेक्टिव्स इन इंग्लिश। इफ अ सेंटेंस हैज मोर देन वन एडजेक्टिव, they are arranged by priority, wherein the adjectives that actively describe the noun come before the more neutral nouns. Quantity or number, quality or opinion, size, age, shape, color, proper adjective, often nationality, प्लेस ऑफ ओरिजिन, मटेरियल, ये सब चीज़ें जो होती हैं प्रॉपर एडजेक्टिव होते हैं। पर्पस और क्वालिफायर। एग्जाम्पल, आई लव दैट बिग ओल्ड ग्रीन एंटीक कार that is parked at the end of the street. Big describes the size of the car. Since size is number 3 in the list, it comes before number 4 age old and 6 color green. Degrees of adjectives. There are 3 degrees of adjectives: positive degree, comparative degree, superlative degree. कितनी डिग्री होती है? 3 टाइप की डिग्री होती हैं, 3 टाइप्स। सबसे पहले आ जाते हैं पॉजिटिव डिग्री। टॉम इज अ टॉल टॉम इज टॉल अ बॉय। इन दिस सेंटेंस द वर्ड टॉल इज an adjective telling us how Tom is. There is no other person or thing in this sentence used to compare Tom with, but it is the general way of saying about persons, animals, and things that they have some quality. Here, tallness above average in general sense. The adjective word tall is said to be in the positive form. The comparison is called positive degree comparison. Comparatives. One way to describe nouns, people, or objects, animal, etc. is by comparing them to something else. When comparing two things, you are likely to use adjectives like smaller, bigger, taller, more interesting, and less expensive. Notice the er ending. This word में er end हो रहा हो, and the words more and less. See the sentence below for an illustration of this common error. Incorrect. His cat is more large than my dog. Correct use. His cat is larger than my dog. So what makes the first example wrong and the second right? There are a few rules that explain this. For adjectives that are just one syllabus, add er to the end. This explains the above example. For two syllable adjectives not ending in y, and for all three or more symbol adjectives, syllable adjective use the form more plus adjective. For two syllable adjectives ending in y, change the y to I and er. These simple rules make it easy to tell when you should add er or ier, and when you should use more plus adjective. Incorrect use. This house is extinguisher than ever. Correct use. This house is more exciting than ever. Incorrect use. Mike is more funny than Isaac. Correct use. Mike is funnier than Isaac. Notice this spelling change for adjectives ending in y. The comparative ends in ier. फनी को क्या कर दिया हमने? ier फनियर. Incorrect use. This book is boringer than the last one. Correct use. This book is more boring than the last one. Incorrect use. Advertising pressures women to be more thin. Correct use. Advertising pressures women to be thinner. Superlatives. When comparing more than two things, you will likely use words and phrases like smallest, biggest, tallest, most interesting, and least interesting. Notice the est ending and the word most and least. Make sure you use the proper ending or superlative adjective when forming these superlatives. Example: Martha is the elder of the four sisters. If there were only two sisters, we could use the comparative elder here because there are four sisters. We need a superlative degree. Martha is the eldest of the four sisters. I think his last book in his is his least interesting. I think his last book is his least interesting. His third book was the most interesting. That must be the weirdest play ever written. Remember that adjectives ending in y change their spelling when est added. To form these superlatives, change the y to an I before adding the est adding and illustrated below. That is the sleepiest puppy of the litter. That is the sleepiest puppy of the litter. Forming comparative and superlatives of irregular adjectives. It's important to note that there are irregular adjectives and adverbs that you have to memorize because they don't follow the rules above. They are adjective or adverb, comparative or superlative. Good, well, better, best. Bad, badly, roast, far, farther, further. The farthest and furthest. Little, less, least. Here are some examples of these irregular words as comparatives and superlatives in context. Today I had the best time touring the city. I went further than my friend when we walked around the park. You dance better than I do. You bought the least attractive pair of moccasins at the thrift store. He can run the farthest of his classmates, but that's only once around the track. I do badly in math, but at least I am not the roast. Comparative and superlatives of handsome. Besides the irregular words in the table above, one other unclear comparative and superlative choice is handsomer, more handsome, handsomest, most handsome. The rules call for handsomer and handsomest, but uses has changed over time. Modern speakers prefer more handsome to handsomer, and there is an even split between handsomest and most handsome. Preferred uses typically follows what native speakers say, and the trend seems to be moving toward the simpler construction of more plus adjective and the most plus adjective. Parallel degree. This comparison is used to show that the qualities of two items, adjectives or adverbs, talked about in the given sentence to go parallel. If one quality, adjective or adverb, increases, the other quality, adjective or adverb increases, and if one quality decreases, the other quality also decreases. The bigger the box, the heavier it is. Forming comparative and superlatives of various adjectives. Positive, comparative or superlative. Big, bigger, biggest. Great, greater, greatest. Short, shorter, shortest, shortest. Old, older, oldest. Large, larger, largest. कंपैरेटिव में ई आर कर देंगे और इसमें ई बाद में एस टी लगा देंगे. हैप्पी, हैप्पियर, हैप्पीएस्ट. लकी, लकीयर, लकीएस्ट. हैवी, हैवियर, हैवीएस्ट. ब्यूटीफुल, मोर ब्यूटीफुल, मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल. Horrible, more horrible, most horrible. Good, better, best. Bad, roast. Little, less, least. Far, farther, farthest. Rule for degrees of comparisons. Rule number one: while making comparisons between two things, the comparative degree is used and not the superlative degree. Example: he is the richest of the two brothers. He is the richer of the two brothers. As we can see in the examples, comparison is between two brothers, thus comparative degree will be used. Rich, richer, or richest. Rule number two: if a choice has to be made between two persons or things, the comparative degree will be used. Article the will be used before the comparative degree. and of the will be used after the comparative degree. The structure will be dash the plus comparative plus of the. Examples: Lucknow is the better of the two cities. MS Dhoni is the better of the two players. Similarly, if the choice is to be made between more than two things or persons, the of superlative degree will be used. The structure will be the superlative degree of the. Rahul is the best of all the batsmen in the Indian cricket team. English is the easiest of all the languages taught in the school. Rule number 3: if an adjective is to be used between as or as and so and has, the adjective should be in positivity. Has and has is used to show that something is equally good or bad. Hisar has hot has Ganganagar in my. So and has is used to show something is not good or as bad. Even with the aggressive marketing campaign, the response is not so good. Example: this rule is also applicable in adverbs. Geeta danced as gracefully as Anita. Rule number 4: if two qualities are to be compared of the same person or thing, then we don't use the comparative degree. Comparative degree is used for comparison between two different things or persons. Instead of using the comparative degree, more positive degree will be used. English needs more practice than other languages. फिर आ जाते हैं रूल नंबर 5: इन कंपैरेटिव डिग्री देन इज यूज्ड बट फॉर एडजेक्टिव्स एंडिंग इन आई ओ आर देन इज नॉट यूज्ड इंस्टेड टू इज यूज्ड लिस्ट ऑफ सच एडजेक्टिव्स इज सुपीरियर इंफीरियर जूनियर सीनियर पेयर anterior posterior exterior interior etc. He was junior than me in college. He was junior to me in college. Rule number 6: if two adjectives are being used for the same noun or pronoun, then the adjective should be in the same degree. India is the greatest and tolerant country. India is a great and tolerant country. Practice questions. Question number 1: Gone are the days when nuclear weapons. Gone are the days when nuclear weapons were the only threat. Humans have designed far worse weapons now. किसमें एरर है? पार्ट सी में एरर है. The third part of the sentence is incorrect, therefore the right answer is option 3. The third part of the sentence is wrong because of the use of the adjectives roast. The sentence is comparing a present day situation with the past, so the adjective use should be of a comparative degree instead of a superlative degree. Roast is used to describe something that is beyond bad. Example: this is the roast meal I have ever had in my life. Since the sentence calls for a comparative degree of the adjective bad, roast should be used instead of roast. Correct sentence: gone are the days when nuclear weapons were the only threat. Humans have designed far worse weapon now. Rohan has a most unique collection of wrist watches. किसमें एरर है? सेकंड में एरर है. Words like unique, major, minor, maximum, minimum, full, complete, perfect, round, etc. are already in their superlative form. So they do not take any comparative or superlative degree of adjective. Thus, remove most from the sentence. Rohan has a unique collection of wrist watch. As soon as I entered the room, a black, long snake huddled into the bed sheet. इसमें एरर है, बी में एरर है. Here, concept of adjective is brought under consideration when adjectives of color and size are used together in a sentence. Then following pattern is considered: adjective of size, adjective of color. Replace black long with long black. As soon as I entered the room, a black long snake huddled into the bed sheet. Question number 4. Bill Gates is once again the rich person in the world. कौन सा ऑप्शन गलत है? करेक्ट बताना है. द रिचेस्ट पर्सन ठीक हो जाएगा इसका. द सेंटेंस यूजेस हिज इनकरेक्ट फॉर्म ऑफ रिच. द करेक्ट फॉर्म मस्ट बी सुपरलेटिव Adjective richest. Correct sentence. Bill Gates is once again the richest in the world. Raghu is a coward man who never takes any decision on his own. Cowardly man. Here concept of adjective is brought under consideration. Coward is a noun and man is a noun. Hence replace it with adjective correct. Adjective cowardly. Question number 6. The higher the demand, the more the price. The greater. Higher is given, so connect with it. Similar type of degree should be used. The higher the demand, the greater the prices. The fourth day of admission at the university started with most students cancelling their admission as compared to new enrollments. With more students. The sentence compares enrollments and cancellations as compared to in the admission process, which has already started and is still going on. Here two things are compared, hence comparative adjective more than will be used. In the above example, superlative degree is used most, which is wrong as it is used when a particular thing is compared with a group or class of things. It rained the most in July as compared to other months. Option 1, many, is just a simple numeral adjective and not comparing two things. Hence, it will make a wrong sentence. Option number 3, all is wrong adjective. The fourth day of admission at the university started with more students cancelling their admissions as compared to new enrollments. Dheeraj claimed, I am the funniest of out of all comedians. Superlative. A positive adjective is used in order to describe, for example, this is good soup and I am funny. A comparative adjective is used to compare two things and is often followed by the word than. This soup is better than that salad. I am funnier than her. A superlative adjective is used to compare three or more things. For example, this is the best soup in the whole world, or I am द फनीएस्ट आउट ऑफ ऑल अदर ब्लॉगर्स. ठीक है, तो एडजेक्टिव इसी के साथ हो जाता है खत्म.